All righty, for the plaintiff, Carrie is Mr. Negretti. Sarah, the witness, I will be for the defense, Mr. Shelley. Mr. Shelley is in examination as we speak. 140 words a minute. Object away. Here we go. Ready? What is Big Pharma?
Objection calls for speculation, assumes facts not in evidence, lacking in foundation.
Big Pharma is the term commonly used for the pharmaceutical industry.
And you use that term in your postings, don't you, sir?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember comparing Big Pharma to Nazis?
Objection.
I don't remember.
Assumes facts not in evidence.
Have you ever compared anybody to Nazis in your postings, sir?
Objection. Calls for the question is vague and ambiguous, also relevance. My understanding is we've got a standing relevance objection. Is that true, counsel?
As noted earlier, sir.
Thank you.
Have I ever compared anyone to Nazis?
Yeah, in your postings.
I think I may have said something acts like Nazis.
Who did you say acts like Nazis?
I don't recall at this time.
I'm going to hand to the court reporter, sir, what's going to be marked as Exhibit 4. I have a courtesy copy for Mr. Negretti. When you get it, sir, I'd like to draw your attention to the first page. Underneath, sir, the heading, but this time Big Pharma is in a death struggle. Do you see that near the bottom of the page, sir?
What was that again? Where were you reading from?
To the last line at the bottom of the page, starting in actuality. Will you read that into the record, sir? It goes over to the next page.
Well, first of all, object. The document speaks for itself. There is no question pending.
Will you read that into the record, sir, so I can ask you some questions about it so the jury can have an understanding what the document says?
Okay, but this time Big Pharma is in a death struggle.
What I was drawing your attention to was the line that started with in actuality at the bottom of the page.
Okay, thank you. In actuality, Big Pharma itself is under siege. Their murderous policies have gotten them attention they should have avoided. An attention that isn't going to go away. Their policies have gained attention the same way the Nazi war machine got the free world's attention, and they are going to see a similar result.
Does that refresh your recollection as to whether you've compared entities or persons to Nazis in at least some of your postings?
Objection, lacking in foundation.
Can you ask the question again, please?
Would you read it back to him, please?
Objection, assumes facts not in evidence, lacking in foundation as to postings.
I think you're attempting to mischaracterize what I said here, Mr. Shelley. It speaks for itself.
You did write that, though, correct, sir?
It appears that I did. Could be if we're using the same guidelines we used before.
You don't deny that you wrote it, is that correct?
No.
And actually, don't you, as you think about it, you've made a number of other postings comparing persons to Nazis.
Objection, calls for speculation, lacking in foundation.
You can tell me what he knows, counsel.
Other postings, you're assuming that this is a reference that talked about the Nazi war machine. That's a totally different issue. And so, but you're trying to mischaracterize what I said here.
Let's go back to Exhibit 3, sir, if you would. If I do the math right, you tell me if you do it differently. Based upon your quarter of a share of 6 full shares, you're entitled to 1/24th of any amount that Cavitat is awarded in this suit. Is that correct?
Objection.
Per this agreement, is that your understanding of it?
Objection, improper question as to form. The question is argumentative.
I don't think that's right.
Why isn't that right, based upon your understanding?
As a matter of fact, 1/24th. I didn't look at it like that.
All I'm saying, sir, is there's 6 total shares per this agreement. Do you agree with that?
Objection. The document speaks for itself.
Is that your understanding?
Yes, there's 6 full shares.
Okay, and you have a quarter of a full share. Is that correct?
Yes,
So that would be 1/24 of the total shares. Is that correct?
Objection. The document speaks for itself.
well, you're not taking into consideration page 2.
All right, sir. So you don't agree that you're entitled to 1/24?
Objection. Mischaracterizes testimony.
Is that what you're saying, sir?
Argumentative.
I don't agree, no.
Tell me, sir, how much you understand you get out of any recovery that Cavitat gets in this lawsuit?
Objection. Calls for speculation.
I can speculate, but by the way, I had it explained to me I would get 1/96th.
Who explained to you that you got 1/96th?
Well, perhaps, Mr. Jones, but I didn't get it right. I mean, I don't know if I got it right.
So is it fair to say that you don't know how much of the percentage of any recovery by Cavitat that you would get based upon this agreement?
Yes, that's correct. I am not positive of how that would work because things have changed.
And how have things changed, sir?
You'd have to ask Mr. Jones. I don't know that.
What is your factual basis for saying things have changed? What makes you say that?
I believe they changed the accounting rules somewhere since I signed this and they had to vote on it or something. So I don't know what it is.
You still own whatever percent of the lawsuit that this document gives you. Isn't that correct? You haven't given it back to Cavitat?
Objection. Lacking in foundation. Privacy.
And that's correct. Again, there's more here.
So you would agree then that you have a financial interest in the lawsuit brought by Cavitat against my client Aetna, correct?
Objection. Withdraw the objection other than relevance.
Yes, I agree.